And welcome back to Reactioncast. It's your host, Jesus, aka Tyrant Dominus, here to give you another movie review. This time around, we're going to be talking about Oppenheimer.
Against the Nazis. And I know what it means. If the Nazis have a bomb.
They have a 12-month head start. 18. How could you possibly know that?
We've got one hope. All America's industrial might and scientific innovation connected here. A secret laboratory. Keep everyone there until it's done.
Let's go recruit some scientists.
So, we are going to be talking about this biodrama, bio-thriller, depending on how you want to describe it. Written, directed by Christopher Nolan. And let's see here. How do I explain this movie? To start off, I'm gonna start off by saying I did not do the double feature with the Barbie Oppenheimer double feature. I understand kind of the publicity behind all that and kind of why you do it, but I did not. Mostly because the runtime for sure on each of these films are reasonably long, and for Oppenheimer specifically talking, since it's the movie we're talking about right now, it runs 3 hours, and as far as runtime, it does not feel like a 3-hour movie. I'm gonna start by saying that its pacing is really well done, and I can say for sure it's wonderful. So start off, I'm gonna start by saying, I might be pronouncing his name wrong, and that's what's kind of bugging me. Cillian Murphy, who is our lead actor who plays Oppenheimer, the father of the atom bomb, and to say the least, it's kind of hard not to kind of spoil the movie because it's a dramatization of some of the events that happen to Robert Oppenheimer. And that's one thing I'm going to start by stating. This movie, the plot of this film it's not about the atom bombs specifically. It is about the life of Oppenheimer and kind of the struggles that not only him but kind of the team on any of these events that happened during his life, because the film kind of starts off by kind of seeing a young Oppenheimer kind of in his early university days, and it's a strong beginning, it's a strong start, and I'm like, whoa. And it's kind of segmenting these moments, and like I said, it's a 3-hour film, and the way they pace this film and the way that it's cut, and it's truly a Christopher Nolan film. The way he directed this film and the way the cinematography feels, I would generally rewatch this film, and I think I might, because I watched Standard, and I think I'm gonna try to catch it in IMAX, and I believe, if I'm lucky enough, I think one of the cinemas near me actually still has it in 7mm actual film, and if I'm lucky enough and have the ability to, I might catch it in that, just to see it that way, because it's a full studied cast, to say the least, and everyone does a fantastic job. I honestly, there's a few people for sure, like Matt Damon, you kind of see it, but seeing Robert Downey Jr., I literally did not realize it was Robert Downey Jr. until towards the end of the movie. I'm like, wait a second, just because I was not really paying attention to him as Robert Downey Jr., I was paying attention to the character he was playing, and I'm like, whoa. And everyone else, like I said, wonderful cast, way crazy cast, but everyone did a fantastic job. Everyone was doing their moments. Even Matt Damon, I didn't feel like Matt Damon was playing, how do I just describe it, I noticed it was Matt Damon, but the way he was playing the role, I was like, it was believable, then, like I said, the plot in itself, if this story is not something you want to watch, it's not for everyone, to say the least. I'm gonna say that it's a 3-hour movie, and if you're looking forward to like crazy explosions, there are some, but it's not what you're expecting, and because it's really about, like I said, it's really about Oppenheimer and some of the scientists kind of struggling through some of the moral quandaries of basically developing definitely one of the strongest weapons ever created by man, and kind of the aftermath of some of the when they dropped those atomic bombs in Japan, and kind of living with the aftermath of that. It's really interesting to see from a dramatized perspective, because it's not one to one. We have some source, but it's interesting to see this kind of elevated for film, and it just shows like a real person. Like Oppenheimer for sure was an interesting character portrayed in this, because of the way he was not a like your, what you would consider your like protagonist, a traditional like upstanding man. He's just another human being who has desires and worries, and it just plays a role, and mostly during these times it gets very also kind of into some of the politics around stuff. And if you've been on this podcast before, I don't like on this or Convoluted Podcast, the other show I am a main host for, we don't talk politics, but I like how films and series kind of involve or really handle politics in that world, and seeing kind of some of the real world politics happening during those times. It's interesting to kind of, I'll be generally honest, this film, I learned more about some of the events and some of the things during those times from this movie than I did in history class. And like, that's it. It's really well written, and it's one of the few films, if you're willing to sit down and enjoy this docudrama basically, and it's catching your eye, it is a definitely, I'm gonna start saying now, it's a must watch. Like, it's not for everyone for sure, but if you enjoy these types of films, it's a must watch, no doubt about it. And I think just watching it in the cinema, I really got a lot out of it. It was very entertaining, like somewhat informative, and just great overall. All the shots were good, cinematography, the sound design. It's a Christopher Nolan film, so the sound design's, it's one of his better films when it comes to sound design. That's saying something, but it was done well. And just wonderful performance by everyone. I just like Cillian Murphy. I really liked him. I really liked him as Oppenheimer. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of his works. I really do want to see more of his works, and it's interesting. I want to know now. This is the movie that kind of like gets me into these films of this era, kind of during the World War II and things like that. It's kind of that type of movie for me. It makes me like get into like what else was happening during these times. It's kind of one of those things. Because if you really think about it, a lot of films, for me specifically, when it comes to these, makes me really intrigued of during the times and stuff like that when I kind of fall off, and mostly with the current writer and actor strike. There's going to be a lull in content for in the near future, so I might be dipping into my catalog of backlog, basically, of things I haven't seen, and then kind of doing my best to kind of support the writers and actor strikes, while still providing everyone here with my thoughts on films and series, without like, it's interesting. So, but this is not for this is for Oppenheimer, but for sure, like, Oppenheimer, a must watch, but yeah, let me know what you guys thought. Are you planning on watching it? Have you watched it? Let me know down in the comments below. If you're watching this on YouTube or Spotify, if you're listening to this on any of the podcasting platforms, let me know on social media. So yeah, thanks again for listening or watching. Until next time, see ya.